Sleep is supposed to be the one time when the mind becomes quiet, but for a narcissist, bedtime is often another stage for control, attention, and manipulation. Psychologists explain that narcissistic personalities often struggle with empathy, insecurity, and an intense need for validation. Those traits do not disappear when the lights go out. In fact, they often become even more visible. Here are 8 unsettling bedtime habits that can reveal a narcissistic personality. 1. Starting arguments right before sleep. A peaceful night is the last thing a narcissist wants if control is slipping away. Instead of resolving conflict during the day, an argument suddenly begins just as you're about to sleep. The goal is rarely finding a solution. The goal is emotional exhaustion. When another person is too tired to think clearly, it's much easier to gain the upper hand. Psychologists call this emotional overload. A tired brain questions itself more and resists less. By the time morning comes, the narcissist often acts as if nothing happened. Meanwhile, the other person wakes up drained and confused. 2. Demanding constant attention. A healthy relationship allows both people to relax. A narcissist often sees relaxation as rejection. If the phone gets more attention, if a book becomes interesting, or if someone simply falls asleep first. The narcissist may suddenly crave affection, conversation, or reassurance, not because the moment is important, because attention must always remain focused on them. The instant that attention shifts elsewhere, insecurity begins to grow. 3. Watching you instead of sleeping. This habit feels disturbing for a reason. Some narcissists quietly observe the other person while pretending to rest. They're studying reactions, looking for weaknesses, trying to understand emotional patterns they can later use during disagreements. Psychologists describe this as information gathering. The more someone understands your fears, habits, and emotional triggers, the easier it becomes to manipulate them later. 4. Ignoring your need for rest. Everyone needs sleep. A narcissist often believes their needs matter more. Late-night phone calls, loud television, bright lights, endless conversations. If another person says they're tired, the response may be guilt instead of understanding. You don't care about me. You always ignore me. The conversation quickly shifts from basic rest to emotional pressure. Healthy people respect boundaries. A narcissist often treats boundaries as personal attacks. 5. Needing the last word. Every night. Notice how some people simply cannot end the day without winning. Even after hours of discussion, one more accusation, one more correction, one more reminder that they're supposedly right. Why? Because sleeping after losing feels unbearable to a narcissistic ego. Winning becomes more important than peace. That's why small disagreements can mysteriously continue until midnight. 6. Creating jealousy before bed. Bedtime should bring security. Instead, a narcissist may casually mention another person's attractiveness, an ex-partner, or someone showing interest in them. The timing isn't random. It's designed to create uncertainty. Once insecurity appears, reassurance becomes harder to find, and a person seeking reassurance becomes easier to control. Psychologists refer to this as emotional triangulation. 7. Turning affection into a reward. Kindness should never feel like a prize, yet narcissists often use affection only when it benefits them. One night they're warm and loving, the next night they're distant and cold. Nothing changed except their desire for control. This unpredictable pattern keeps another person emotionally chasing approval. The human brain naturally seeks consistency. When affection becomes unpredictable, attachment often becomes stronger instead of weaker. That's exactly why this tactic can be so powerful. 8. Going to sleep without taking responsibility. This may be the biggest warning sign of all. A narcissist rarely ends the day with genuine accountability. Instead of saying, "I was wrong," the conversation becomes, "You made me react." "It's your fault." "You misunderstood me." Blame is transferred. Responsibility disappears. And the cycle quietly begins again the next morning. Without accountability, unhealthy patterns rarely change. None of these habits alone prove someone is a narcissist. People can occasionally act selfishly, especially when stressed or exhausted. What matters is the pattern. When these behaviors happen repeatedly, alongside a lack of empathy, constant need for admiration, and refusal to accept responsibility, they may point toward narcissistic traits. The most powerful response isn't trying to change another person's personality. It's recognizing unhealthy patterns early, protecting your boundaries, and remembering that peaceful sleep should never come at the cost of your emotional well-being. If you found this video insightful, subscribe for more psychology-based content that helps you understand people and protect your peace.